Monday. I want to know. Original pilot, aka Ross Mulligeta Sewa. Adiva! Hot girl, diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a diva. No man no want them, tell them to leave ya. A diva! Run boy, hot girl, diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a cleaver. No man no want them, tell them to leave ya. A diva! Run boy, diva, a diamond, hot girl, them a goal. I always feel like them in control. Any man we tackle them, end up in a them hole. That simple mean them story and skittle them a brass, tell them kiss me round. Run a my place, none of them can pass. In a girl business, a them come last. Pilot! You are the boss. Hot girl, diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a cleaver. No man no want them, tell them to leave ya. A diva! Run boy, hot girl, diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a cleaver. No man no want them, tell them to leave ya.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
A diva!
Clearly, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out. But clearly, I have no clue what I'm trying to do. I should have figured this out before I went live. But then when I went live, I'm like, I didn't like it. So it's kind of like... But anyway, we're just going to keep the show rolling. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to sources here. And I'm going to get rid of this. There we go. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here. And I'm going to bring that over here. And then I'm going to go to me here. And I'm just going to shrink. Yeah. Let me see if I hold shift and I bring this in. There you go. There you go. I think that looks good. I think that looks real good. All right, this is all the shit I should have done before I went live. Hold on, let me cut this light off and I'll be back in like 30 seconds. And you can't do a show without lemon cake that has a cream cheese lemon topping with lemon zest sprinkle on top. I mean, this is... that right there, my friends, that's the fucking, man. It's good. It is so good. The cake is so moist. I'm a fan of cream cheese frosting. I'm just a fan of, I love cream cheese frosting. If you put cream cheese frosting, if you put a good cream cheese frosting on anything, I'll eat it. Pause. All right, man, let's talk about world boss Strictly Addy. We all know that Vybz Kartel is the world boss. And he's locked up, but he may be coming out So IDLS Promotions had a party where the selectors should only play cartel or Gaza related music, right? Yo, this cake is crazy. I mean, I'm not going to hold you. I can't hold the baker on that. I want to, but I just can't. So I got so Sexy Body Brit gave me the file. She said, yo, come through. And I had no clue where I was going because the name of the club is called Hava, Hava. So I parked my whip and I'm looking at my GPS, and my GPS said it's only like 100 feet up the street. So I'm walking with my badass knees. And as I pass Rumor Venue, the W Hotel, I see HAVA on the side of a building. And I'm like, hold up. Hava used to be called Aria. I'm like, holy shit. The last time I was in this place, there was a shootout. And I remember that night like it was yesterday. So, like, when you talk about Bobby Shakes and Orette Robinson, it's like two different people with two different career interests that for somehow were able to merge together. So a lot of people know I worked at the Source magazine for 2 years. Then I went to Clear Channel, but before that, I was doing hip hop, and I was doing like street art, like Banksy. But my shit wasn't that good. It was just basically my logo, Corrupt Souls, that we were just doing wheat paste posters all over the city. And my graffiti came from, because, I was a breaker, graffiti artist, skateboarder, and then the natural progression is to move to hip hop. So from like 1993 to 2000, I was known in the hip hop community. While I was building BobbyShakes.com in the reggae community, nobody in the reggae community knew who the fuck I was. People in the hip hop industry, in the underground scene, and at the labels, they knew me as Orette Robinson. So we were able to use music videos to be played on BobbyShakes.com. That's how, like, the first 2 years of BobbyShakes.com had a heavy hip hop influence, because I did a lot of hip hop work. So I'm just giving you a backstory before I give you the real story. So one night when I'm in Aria, and I'm just going around taking photos, and it's like all the thugs are in there, like Columbia Point, like Belknap, fucking Mission Hill, fucking OP, fucking Heath Street, Castlegate. Like, the party was crazy. And I'm in there with my son's mother at the time. My son's mother, my 8-year-old. And we go there because she was kind of like my assistant, right? She was just my assistant before we became a thing. So she was like my assistant, making sure I'm on time and talking to the promoters to get me into the building and all of that shit. So I'm in there and I'm just taking pictures, and it was a good reunion because a lot of the hip hop people heard of BobbyShakes.com, but they didn't know that BobbyShakes.com was Orette. So when I showed up with the camera, they're like, camera? Like, what the fuck you doing with a camera? Because they know me as a sound engineer and street team. They don't know me as a photographer. Even though when I was working towards the tail end of the Source magazine and Clear Channel, since I had access to concerts, I was just taking photos. But it was with like a little shitty camera, and they knew that I was probably just doing work for the labels. They didn't know I was actually taking pictures of hip hop shit and putting it on BobbyShakes.com. So when I'm in Aria, the place is packed. All the thugs are there. All the crews are there. All sets is there. It was like a family reunion to me because I haven't seen none of these dudes in like 6, 7, 8 years. And it was good to tell them, yeah, I'm no longer in hip hop. I'm no longer doing studio engineering stuff. I'm doing photography and videography for my website. They're like, yo, what's your website? And I was having a conversation with each set in the city of Boston because they didn't know. I'm like, Bobby Shakes, that's you? Because it was confusing for them because they never knew that I was Jamaican. They just thought that I was a Black American. So when they were like, hold up, like Bobby Shakes is like a reggae thing, but you're like a hip hop dude. So they was confused. So half the night, I'm just going around to each set explaining to them, this is where I am, this is what I'm doing, and I gave them a card. And the night is lit. All the crews is getting shouted out. You know, like a dude will run up to the bar, give the DJ 100, yo, shout out Columbia Point, and then the DJ will shout out Columbia Point, and then niggas from the fucking Belknap would hear that and run up to the mic and be like, yo, shout out Belknap. Then the dudes from Interville would be pissed off, like, yo, shout out Interville. Then the dudes from Academy would hear it, give the DJ some bread, yo, shout out Academy. So all night, all the crews is just being shouted out. And it was getting hot in there. It was getting hot in there. So if you were at Addy on Friday night, when you walked through the reggae room and you went around the corner, that's where I was. Right where Jim Tom was standing. Because he wasn't in the reggae room, he was on the other, because the reggae room was in the back. I don't know what, I think they're probably doing hip hop or African music was in the front. So right where I saw Jim Tom, that's where I was when it was Aria. And I saw my man, I'm not going to say what crew he's from. And I was like, yo, what's up? Bye, 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 bye. Yo, take a picture. He's all like, Orette, I can't do that. I can't fuck with you on that. Because I'm about to rob this dude for his watch. So I'm all like, what? He's like, yeah, this nigga got a watch. He's about to come off of it. So I said to him, yo, good luck, brother. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to. What do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do? So I just walked around, did my pictures. And it was getting close to the end of the night. So I'm like, yo, let me go outside and have a cigarette. So I'm outside. You know, back then I did my hand rolled cigarette, so I'm rolling up my hand rolled cigarette and I got it all rolled up, put a little bird in it, roll it up, and I'm out there, bang, spark it up, and I'm just smoking. And two dudes come out of the club and they were like pissed off. Like, yo, man, this nigga just took my watch from me, blah, blah, blah. They had to be like, I think they were probably college students. But it was a weird night because you had vultures and pigeons. So if you were a pigeon that night, you were getting got. So I'm outside smoking. I hear these two dudes arguing back and forth. Like, yo, man, you didn't even get my back, blah, blah, blah. So I guess my man did come off of the watch. So I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. I got to get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't want to be here no more. And it was a Girls Gone Wild party. Now, if you remember, Girls Gone Wild was like I don't know what it was. Just a bunch of dudes with cameras, and they'll go around and do like wet t-shirt contests, probably film girls getting fucked in a hotel room or whatever. So it was like it was Girls Gone Wild. So when you have Girls Gone Wild in a place, all the dudes are gonna show because everybody want to see titties. Everybody want to see titties and booty. So Girls Gone Wild is filming all of this. And it turned out that Girls Gone Wild, they did, I don't know what happened to them, but I think they got like a feds charge or something. I don't know what they were doing, but they got themselves in trouble. But back then, Girls Gone Wild was hot. I don't think it was hot. It wasn't hotter than BobbyShakes.com, but Girls Gone Wild was hot. So that's why the promoter was like, yo, we want Bobby Shakes there because we need that type of crazy photography to match the crazy shit that's going on in the club. So that's the backdrop, right? So you have Girls Gone Wild, you have Girls Going Wild, you have dudes from all the hoods in Boston going wild, and then you have like college kids stuck in the middle of this craziness because Girls Gone Wild was basically a college thing, like college girls get naked and shit. And I think that's probably why they got in a lot of trouble. I don't know. I don't know why, but I heard they got in trouble. So I'm outside smoking a cigarette, and you know, downstairs it's hot as fuck. I'm smoking a cigarette, and I go back to my store. I hear these dudes talking about they got robbed. Come on, man, fuck this. I gotta get this girl out of here, man. As I'm walking down the stairs to grab her to get out, I hear pop, 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 and everybody hits the deck. And I'm like, yo, they're shooting in the club? State police was there. State police is jumping on people. So everybody's on the ground. Everybody in the club is on the ground because it was like a shootout, the OK Corral. And everybody's on the ground. People's on the ground. Thugs is on the ground because they're rolling. So now like that gunshot like opened up the beef. So now everybody's beefing. So everybody's on the floor. The only two people that was on the floor was me because I'm walking down the steps into hell. And I look across the club where if you go into Hava where the DJ booth is, the DJ booth wasn't there. The DJ booth was when you walk down the stairs, it was off to the right there where the bathroom was. That's where the DJ booth was. Like slide over a little bit. So I think the DJ booth was where the VIP section is. The DJ booth wasn't where the wall was. And I see her standing up. So I'm like, yo, they're shooting and you're standing up. So I'm stepping over people, like literally stepping on people because they're laid flat on the ground. I'm like stepping on people to get to her. And I grabbed her because she was like, I don't know if she was in shock. She probably was in shock because she's from Vermont. She's never seen no shit like this before. She's all like, so she's standing up and I go, yo, why didn't you hit the floor? They're shooting in here. And she was all like, the only person I bow down to is Jesus. Let's get a chant for that. I looked at her. I mean, what could I say? What could I say? There's nothing I could say at that point besides grab her and get her the fuck out of there. Like, who says the only person I bow down to is Jesus in a gunfight in the city of Boston. She just didn't know her surroundings or her whereabouts, but I guess that just goes to show her faith is that strong in Jesus and God and the Trinity. So that was the last time I was actually in Aria, right? So now me and her became a thing, and she went to Florida for the weekend or whatever. I don't know what it was. So I went to the airport to pick her up. And I'm sitting in the car, and a state trooper rolls up on me, and he's knocking on the glass. So I just roll down the window, and the state trooper's all like, "You put me out of work for 6 months, Bobby Shakes." I'm like, how does the state trooper knows who I am? Like, how does he know that? Like, how did he make the connection? I thought he was just coming over to tell me to move my car. Move your fucking car. Move your fucking car. You know how they be acting at Logan. I thought that's why he was walking over to tell me. He's like, yo, I was out of work for 6 months because the dude that was shooting, I had to wrestle him to the ground. And I broke my arm during the arrest. I'm like, oh my God. So me and him started talking about the night, and it became a friendly conversation. So me and him is outside talking for about 20 minutes while all the other state troopers are just moving cars in front of the terminal. And he led me, park my car there, and we're just sitting there and talking, and it was surreal. So when she comes out of the airport now, she sees me and the state trooper talking, and, he let us take the bag, throw it in the car, and we drive off. As we're going through the tunnel, she's like, "Why were you talking to the state trooper?" I go, "You remember that night where the club got shot up and you didn't bend down because you only bowed to Jesus? Well, that was the arresting state trooper that arrested one of the shooters." So that was the last time I was in that nightclub. And just walking down those stairs, it just gave me that image again, like, shit, I'm back here. Because Aria used to be our spot, man. Aria, Europa, Roxy. You know what I'm saying? When I used to chill with Hood's DVD, man, we had that place on slam, bro. Primo, Reese. It was crazy. It was crazy. So that was, it brought back some feeling going into that nightclub again. But obviously now the nightclub it seems when I was walking to Hava and back to my car, from what I've seen, it seems like the nightlife is way more chill than what it was in the early stages of BobbyShakes.com. It just seems that everybody is peaceful, and there's just a lot of diversity now. You know, I see women kissing women, men kissing men, and it's like, wow, this shit was wild to me. Like, it's a completely different atmosphere for early 2000s and 90s, where the let out was, it was either bitch get over here, or it's like, yo, I got it on me. So it was really cool to go down to that district. And I don't know, right? I don't know. There could be shootings down there. There could be beefs down there. There could be a lot of drama going on. I don't know. I'm removed from that scene. But walking to the club and walking away from the club, it just felt that everybody was in a good mood. And everybody was chill. And it didn't look like there were too many thugs hanging around. Like, maybe there is a heavy police presence, right? Back in the day, cops used to just come and just shut off a street, but it wasn't like cops on every corner, and like they block off Tremont, they block off this and they block off that, so there isn't that spin around, you know what I'm saying? Because you used to go to your car and just spin the block trying to catch a fish. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you would do. But now you can't spin the block. Like once you get out of the club and get your car, you just can't come back around in front of the club anymore. So you gotta go. So I guess that has probably squashed the violence and the beef. Because by the time you get to the car to come back and do what you gotta do, there's just a police barricade. So you probably have to get that dude next to them or somewhere else. But what I do love about the downtown scene, for what I've seen, I remember this is my first time downtown Boston in about, at a nightclub, maybe 10 years. So I don't know what's going on because I'm not there daily, but it just seems that the vibe is more diverse and the vibe is just smoother. Like even outside of World Boss, it was like dudes trying to holler girls. And it wasn't, there's one dude hollering at a shorty, but then there wasn't dudes from another set trying to holler at the shorty because they see that dude standing by himself hollering at a shorty. You know what I'm saying? There used to be a lot of that bullshit that used to go on. You come out of the nightclub, and if you're by yourself and you're hollering at a shorty, then a gang of dudes that had like that's 4 or 5 deep will come and holler at that shorty. So there was always a lot of fuckery when I was hot in the nightclub. But now that I'm ice cold, it's just really cool to see the younger generation having a good time. Now I could be wrong. Remember, I haven't been down there in 10 years. So I don't know. But for the first time I was down, I felt, okay, this is really smooth. It's really smooth. And it seems that people now are having more fun as opposed to a show. Or you can't step on my Air Force Ones, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. It just seems that, and that's why the title of this video, like, World Boss was a vibe. Now let's get into some real shit before I go to bed. I believe that Shakes' Live is gonna take off to the fucking stars. Because while I was taking pictures during this dance, I just felt the energy from everyone. Like people were excited to see me just as much as I was excited to see them. Like if you've been reading the blogs on Shakes' Live, you know like every show that I go to is kind of like a family reunion. It doesn't feel like I'm there taking photos. It feels like there's this exchange of friendship between me and everybody else. And when you go outside, when I go outside to smoke and I see people in the line or backstage or whatever, it's the jogging of men. It's the jogging of memory about how the city of Boston used to move. And it feels, I don't know. But this is what I'm just seeing. And a lot of people may think different of me, but it just seems like all the reggae promoters are cool now. Because I just see different promoters working together to build their brand. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I've been so far removed from this culture, but I felt good. I felt good, man. I know a lot of people like to shit on the youth and be like, yo, the youth suck and these niggas are this and these niggas is that, but stop calling them niggas and really look at them and see, okay, I think it's in good hands. I really honestly think that the future is in good hands. And this is why I know Shakes' Live is in good hands. And I feel that the city's rocking with me. I feel like the city is behind this movement. The reason why they're behind this movement is because of these lives, where people can sit back, get a little history, right? So it's just not videos and photos. It's taking you back. It's taking you back in time. And I think people are seeing the power of these lives, and they're like, yo, you know what? I want to fuck with Bobby, and I want to give him my story. And I don't know how many times I said this during the night. I said this multiple times. When you look at the black movement, I'm not saying it culture because they own that shit. The black movement, in the black movement, the people that pay to go to the party or concert has more power than the artist. I got to build my music industry power like pyramid. I was looking for my pyramid. I got a little pyramid. But I think that the artist is on the bottom level. Then the DJs. No, I would say artist, bottom level. Slightly above the artist would be the media people. Above the media people would be the promoters. Above the promoters would be the DJs. And then the pinnacle, the most important part about this whole thing, are the paying customers. Because you got to understand, us that is working in this field, we're nerds, right? We're not at the after hours. I can't be at the after hours back then when Bobby Shake was going on. How am I going to be the after hours? I got to be home. I got to edit the photos. I got to get the photos on the website. I can't be at the afters. If we videotape the event on Friday, we had to get that thing cut, edited, and duplicated so we could hit the barbershops and the hairdressers Saturday morning. So I didn't have time to fuck around with the afters. Unless there was nothing going on, I didn't shoot that weekend. And this is where we're going with Shakes Industries. We're going this way with Shakes Industries because we want to build this platform for all of us to tell our story. And I think January, we're going to start to roll out interviews. Because a lot of Boston history I don't have, because I wasn't really in the scene like that. So if I'm at a party, if I'm at a show, let's say Sean Paul is coming, right? Sean Paul, Vegas, Lexus, blah, 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 blah. After the show, y'all head into the afters. Me, I'm going back to the hotel with the artist, pause to videotape or maybe fly to the studio to do a dub plate session. So the movement that's going on, in the parking lots, the let out to the afters, inside the afters, and then outside. Those 4 or 5 hours I'm missing from that part of the movement. I'm doing the corporate shit. And a lot of artists and people in the industry don't think that they're corporate. You're way more corporate as an artist, as a photographer, than someone that's going to a dance. They work their 9 to 5, they pay the little money, that's it. They don't have the restraints of the industry around their neck. But we do know that this movement can only be as strong as the strength of the people that's coming to the shows. I don't give a fuck how big of an artist you is. If you throw a show and nobody shows up, then what the fuck is that? I don't care how many streams or downloads you have on Spotify, because that shit doesn't mean shit. It just doesn't mean shit. So we are the corporate nerdy people. Because we in the lab. Sound engineers in the lab, artists we in the lab. We ain't got time to be at the fish fry. After we complete our projects, we then can't go and chill at the fish fry. But we got to be putting out shit to somehow pay the debt and the bills that we've accumulated to looking fly. And in closing, this is what I want to say is we have 10 people that wants to come on this platform and sit down and talk. And yes, will we run down big artists? Of course we would. But I think the grassroots of Boston has to start with the Patreons. It just has to. And I think Shakes' Live is going to explode off of that. Because we're going to be telling everybody's story. Because everybody has a story. Hey, misunderstood lady, how you feeling tonight? Yeah, man, we're just here talking. Just here talking about my new venture. Yeah, I haven't seen you on the stream in a long time, misunderstood. How you feeling? The retro lady. You're a great aunt now? Holy shit. That's the last time I spoke to you? When was the last time I spoke to you? I know you were in probably Stone's stream the other day. But probably when's the last time you watched me stream something? That has to be shit, like 2 years ago during COVID. Fuck, man. Time is just flying by. That's just crazy. Time is just flying by. Yeah, so what? So basically what's going on now is I'm back into the reggae scene. So now what's going to be happening is I'm going to be doing these lives and showing people where to go. Let me put my website in the chat so you can go and check it out. Yeah, that's the new website. I don't know if you can see it in Twitch. Did you see it? Hopefully you could see the the website address. If not, I'll hit you up. Matter of fact, let me go and follow you right now. I can do that here. Let me just take a picture. That way I could, tomorrow when I go on thing, I can send you a follow back and take a picture of that. There we go. Well, misunderstood lady, thank you so much for coming in. I am going to bed. Yes, I just want to come on to tell you guys the last time I was in Hava Club, tell you about, I feel really good that this website's going to take off. I think starting in July, we're going to start contacting people. We're going to start contacting people to come, and we're going to interview y'all. We sit down, we could do it over the phone, or we could go somewhere else. And what I want to do is I want to start telling them stories. Because Larry Jordan hit me up. He's like, yo, I want to boop. So I see it. I see the site. I see the site beginning to grow. I see everybody wants to tell a story. And I think that content creation, if I'm putting out one and everybody else is putting out these documentaries, not to compete with each other, but we're just flooding the market with documentaries, I think that Boston will then be taken seriously. Because I don't think Boston's taken seriously right now. I just don't. But once we start doing interviews with each other and shooting little documentaries and building real content, I think Boston will be on the map. All right, man. Thank you all so fucking much for coming through, man. Misunderstood lady, thank you so much for watching the stream. I'm beat. You're not supposed to yawn or eat on stream, but been fucking rough.
I want to know. Original pilot, aka Ras Mulligeta Sewa. Adiva! Hot girl diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a cleaver.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but